I'm Steve, and this is This Week with Cars. Today I'm going to look at this Land Rover Discovery II that I bought with an oil leak in the front of the engine. So far I haven't had any other problems with this Land Rover, so I would like to get the front seal replaced, and today I'll show you how to do that. The first thing I need to do is get the hood open and take off the serpentine belt. I just wanted to show you this. This is the size of the puddle that the vehicle has left after about sitting for 6 hours in one place. So the front seal is leaking quite a bit. Make sure your radiator hose is pulled up, and then you can use a 15mm socket on a breaker bar right down here on this nut to release the belt. Now that we're underneath the vehicle, you can see there's oil everywhere up front here. Just everything is coated in oil. I'm going to be really happy to get this fixed so I can get all of this cleaned up. You can see on the crank pulley that we have pretty good access to the bolt that holds it on. Using a breaker bar, I'll loosen the bolt on the crank pulley. And then take the bolt out. The pulley is not a press fit and should just pull right off. It looks like this Land Rover may have a non-standard fan on the radiator. It had different clearance for when I was taking the serpentine belt on than what I had seen on other vehicles. And it also seems to be hindering me getting this pulley off as well. Alright, I've spun the fan around as much as I can. It's not touching it right now. When you mess with used cars, it's just one thing or another. You always run into something. In my case, I'm going to have to remove my fan. This shroud that's on it is just in the way. The pulley's impacting the blades. So I put the serpentine belt back on to hold the fan in place. Now I'm using a wrench to loosen it up. Okay. There's the fan. Now that won't be in the way anymore. There's the pulley. I'll give you a good look here of the old seal before I pull it out. Then I'm also going to run my finger on the end of the crankshaft and make sure it feels smooth. And that'll let me know where I should position the new seal. I may want to move it slightly from where the old seal was. There she is. There's the old seal. Going to clean this up real good. See if I feel any ridges or corrosion. It all feels pretty good. Here's the new seal, and before I put it on, I'm going to put some grease on the inner diameter, and I'm going to put some sealant on the outer diameter. That'll keep any oil from leaking on the outer part of the seal, and the grease on the inner part will also keep oil from leaking out a little bit, just making it seal just a little bit better. Here you can see I have a light coat of sealant on the outside, as well as a light coat of grease on the inside. It's time to install it. I'm going to slip the new seal into place. I like to use a similarly sized socket to press them in. You want to make sure that it's fully seated, because if it's crooked, it's not going to seal properly. And when you go to reinstall the pulley, you see this key on the bottom of the hole there. That slot matches up with a key on the crankshaft, and you must have that in the right position to get the pulley back on. So just start the pulley on and then turn it until you feel it click into that keyway, and then you can push it the rest of the way on. Once you have the pulley pretty close, put your crankshaft bolt back in. Now I'm going to take my torque wrench and torque that crank bolt down. And there you have it. The crank pulley is reinstalled. The new seal is in there. This is a job you can easily do at home, provided that you do have the right tools. It takes some larger sockets and wrenches than what normal people have sitting around, but it's not too bad of a task. I'm just spinning the fan back in place. And now I just need to retighten the nut on the back of it. It's too oily underneath the Land Rover to tell if that has solved my oil leak yet. I'm going to have to clean the underside of the Land Rover and then take it for a drive and park it and see if I have any oil drips anymore. If your Land Rover looked like mine and you replaced the oil seal but you still see some oil dripping during the first couple days, don't worry about it. It may be oil seeping out of places that it had crawled into and it's just getting cleaned up. If you want to see more videos like this, comment below and click subscribe.